We're up to chapter 21. So they split up the cities of refuge in the land of Israel. And who lives there? In the 48 cities? Levim. There's 42 plus 6 major ones. That's 48. They do not get a portion of the land of Israel. They live in dedicated cities that they got as a gift. And they do not work. They sit and learn Torah and uplift the whole land of Israel. Spread out these Levite cities to spread Kedusha. As Rav Kotler, alav hashalom, was famous for this. He used to come and said, we need to make America, infuse the Torah. So he made Lakewood, and now Lakewood is known as the city of Torah. But more than that, their system was, they opened up kollels across America and made kollel communities. So that means that the kollel will go to, let's say, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, and they'll make a kollel there, send 12, 15 avrechim with their families. And then they would go and spend their free time teaching Torah. They would have minyans at the kollel. You would get shiurim in the kollel. And their presence would just uplift the whole community and make the community look at life and the Torah differently. And that's exactly what the point of the Leviim were. To spread out all over the place and to give that influence, and you see these people and give you that holiness and make you think differently about life. So therefore, that was a critical part of having Eretz Yisrael, the Levite cities spread out through the land of Israel. Now the Rambam says in the end of the laws of Shemitah and Yovel that not just Leviim could be supported by the Jewish people. Any Jew who dedicates his heart truly to Hashem, if he wants, Hashem will take care of his needs if he dedicates to the Torah properly, like the Leviim do. They dedicate themselves to the Torah, and the Leviim were supported by the rest of Israel. When we go to chapter 22, we have a big problem. Always the Jewish people, they get to the last, like where they need to be, and always something happens. So, what do they do now? They conquered the land of Israel. They gave out the cities of refuge. All Leviim cities are set aside. They're finally going to just go and move in. And who makes a mistake? Seemingly, Reuven, Gad, and half-tribe Menashe. What do? They're on the Trans-Jordan, they're on the other side of the Jordan River. And they see from afar, Yehoshua and all the Jews see, they built another Mizbeach. They built their own Mizbeach. So now Yehoshua says, oy vey, what do? Now they're doing Avodah Zarah. Now we're going to have the Mishkan here. Now they're making their own temple. What got into them? What are they nuts? What are they doing? And because Moses promised Reuven, Gad, and half-tribe Menashe that if they fight the war, then after they finish the war, they'll come back and have their own land. So the war's over. Now they want to go back to their land. And now they're doing shtuyot. They're doing this altar business. So Yehoshua gets Pinchas, and they go and they take their swords and they say, we got to go and put them in their place. What is this? But first, Pinchas asks. Before he stabs, Pinchas asks, says, guys, Shatakoya, what is this? What are you guys doing? We just moved the land of Israel. We finally fulfilled the prophecy, Avraham Avinu. What are you guys doing? Wasting your time, making nonsense, making your own altars. Come on, you know better than this.
He usually doesn't ask.
Oh, good. But Pinchas asked. That's a big deal. Yeah. When you have a problem with somebody, don't assume. You got to ask first. Why are you doing this? And look what they said. They said, if we had in mind any impure intention, fine, kill us. But we didn't have any impure intention. We feel that we're so far from you guys. We're on the other side of the Jordan River. We don't want our kids to think like we're outcasts. We're like separate from the land of Israel. We're not part of the Jewish people, God forbid. We built a huge altar. We don't want it to be building sacrifices. For sacrifices. We built it to us to remember that we have a portion of Israel and we are connected. It's like Jews who have an embassy. The Israel has an embassy in a different country. That's their connection to their homeland. So this is going to be our beacon. This is going to be our light. This is going to be our connection to the other side of Israel, other side of the Jordan River. And we want it to just chizuk. We don't want anything negative. So Pinchas right away put away his sword. And he said, oh, Baruch Hashem, I'm so happy. Thank God you guys didn't have anything bad in mind. But the point is that they almost had another civil war, all because they was saved because he asked. And he cared to know why you're doing what you're doing. Now, did they ask before they built this altar? No. Did people have good intentions? Yes. Not a lot of times you have to be careful, because sometimes the Yetzer comes to you and tries to make you think what you're doing is a mitzvah, when really it's not. For example, the sages said Achan, right? Achan was the person who, when the Jews conquered Israel, and they were not supposed to take any of the spoils of the war, Yehoshua said, "Don't touch any of the booty," and then Achan took the spoils. And why did he do that? The Midrash says he thought that he's going to uplift the impurity of the spoils and uplift it by using it and make it into a mitzvah. Similarly, right? This happens all the time when Jews and specifically Yetzer comes to them and thinks you have to do this because it's a mitzvah. For example, let's say in the sake of kiruv, for the sake of kiruv, you allow mixed events, let's say, or you go and you say, well, it's okay, we can permit this because at the end of the day, the person's going to chozer b'tshuva because of this, so it's okay to have underage drinking in your party. It'll invite more people, it'll attract more attention, it's like this to the point where you can become like Shabtai Tzvi, God forbid. Shabtai Tzvi, at one point, he was saying we have to do sins, we have to do immorality to uplift the sparks. Go in, the adultery for the sake of sticking it to the Sitra Achar, taking from his domain and redeeming it, taking it back for the side of Kedusha. It's L'Shem Yichud Kudsha Baruchu. And people followed that, and people supported him, and people said, yeah, let's do it, the Zohar, and Kabbalah, and all that kind of stuff. And you could fall so deep, because the Hara tells you it's a mitzvah. As long as it's a mitzvah, the ends justify the means. And the Sefer Yehoshua is telling us, no, don't fall into that. You have to be triple check, quadruple check, 100% sure. If it's allowed, it's allowed. It's not allowed, it's not allowed. And you have to have, for the sake of kiruv, it's very easy to be lenient for a lot of things. You have to have real da'at Torah to follow the right way to actually know what's permitted, what's not. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was Rabbi Yehuda Nasi for him to be able to say, well, let's write down the Mishnah, because if we don't write it down, it's going to be forgotten. There is a concept of breaking the Torah's rules for the sake of the Torah, but you have to be Yehuda Nasi. You have to be da'at Torah to be able to decide it. You can't just decide on your own. So therefore, that's a lesson we learned from this ending to the story of how Israel's conquered. That even at the end, be careful, don't get comfortable, because then the Yetzer could trick you and make you think you're a tzaddik and make you do a sin thinking it's a mitzvah. Baruch Na'olam. Amen.